I believe that bullying is the earliest form of adversity that a child can face. Microwavable culture, whether it be physical or mental bullying, I think it's a great teaching lesson for children to understand the ways of this world at an early age so they're not lost and confused as they get older. A great teaching moment if you have people that really care about you and really want to see you be the best you can be. A lot of people try to coddle their children, try to make them unaware of this world for as long as they can. But I think you're doing your child a disservice if you play the game that way. I think the earlier they understand what this world is about, then they'll have a better understanding as they get older, especially with social media being so prevalent, like I said before. You got to make sure that your mental is right. Get your emotions in check at a young age so you're not irrationally doing things. You're not moving irrationally, you're moving rationally because you got a sound mind, because you got that mental fortitude to go ahead and pursue anything you want. And then when people say crazy negative things about you, you're not ready to jump out a window because you believe what they say to be true. Because mentally you tough enough to overcome any hurdle, any barrier that may come your way. And you got that from the household. You got that from an early age, at an early age. So I think bullying, because bullying is like racism. It's not going anywhere. It's going to be here. The only thing we can do now is definitely speak up about it, talk about it, but give the people, give your children, or whoever you're raising, nieces, nephews, cousins, whatever. Give them the tools in order to combat that. Because social media isn't going anywhere. And big tech, they don't care about, we lost another person on social media because, they were getting cyber bullied and they committed suicide and things of that nature. You see it all the time. And did it come from the household? What was the household telling them? Did they learn it from a young age that, hey, there's going to be people out here to tell you, you're not good enough, you're ugly, you should kill yourself, you'll never be anything in this life. And if you go ahead and embody what they tell you that you are, then you'll go ahead and take yourself out of the game because mentally you couldn't withstand the race. Mentally you took yourself out because you thought what they were saying is true. And I think bullying is a great teaching lesson at an early age so children know, like, okay, why don't they like me, Mom? Why don't they like me, Dad? Well, hey, people in this world aren't going to like you. People can say what they want. Words. People going to talk all the time. You going to react to words? Because the minute you react to words, then they own you. Everybody knows those who make you mad, they own you. That's why you got to have your own mind. Be your own person. Let that stuff roll off you like a water to a duck. You understand what I'm saying? Mental fortitude. You got to be mentally tough. I say you need to be mentally tough more than physically tough. Because if you're mentally tough, it's only a matter of time before that physical catches up. Because you're mentally tough enough to take yourself and get in shape and things of that nature. But if your mind is weak, it's only a matter of time before the body follows. But if you build them up young, then they can have a chance out here. Then they can survive. Because you're going to have employees. You're going to have a job. You're going to have employers. They may say something crazy to you. What you going to do? You going to react off of words? You know what I mean? You can't react off of words. You got to learn to control your emotions. There's a lot of people right now who still don't have a handle on their emotions. Every time somebody says something, it triggers them. Every time they don't get the reaction out of somebody that they want to get, it triggers them. All emotionally driven. And if you're emotionally driven, it's only a matter of time before you do something that'll have you in the grave or behind bars. Because you have to be rational. And it has to come, once again, it should come from the household. Give you the test, give you the answers to the test so you're able to survive out here and have a chance. Because cyberbullying isn't going anywhere. And cyberbullying is a product of how you're raised, because bullies aren't born. Bullies are raised. But no bully is born. But they are bred because you're getting too much in the household or you're not getting enough. Either you're getting too much, meaning you're just doing what you want to do. They're giving you too much freedom to basically raise yourself, or you're not getting enough from the household, not enough love, not enough attention, things of that nature. So now you crying out for help, essentially, because the people that had you, they over there doing what they want to do, right? So now you turn into a bully, no fault of your own, because nobody even cared about you. So now you want to do things and you want to pick on other people just to get a reaction out of somebody, just so you can get some attention that you so long for in the household. Because it's going to happen. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. Like my uncle always used to tell me, he said, D, you ain't got to worry about trouble. Trouble's going to find you. It's not if, it's just when. And you need to be able to handle that trouble, whatever it is, when it comes. And that's the same thing with bullying. It's not a matter of if, it's when. Hey, I used to get picked on all the time in school. I used to get called crazy things, right? But I never wanted to go home, get a knife, take it to the school, and go ahead and massacre some people now. Because mentally, I know everything I was getting put through in the house by my mom, I could overcome anything. If I could deal with my mom for 18 years, anything this world throws at me, I'll be good. Because she built me up to withstand anything that this world throws at me, because she understood the landscape and knew that it's only going to get worse. When you think about physical bullying, going to school, somebody being bigger than you, right? That's what we think of bullies, right? Somebody being bigger than you, or somebody being smaller than you, but somebody not liking you. You don't know why. Every time you show up to school, though, they picking on you, picking on you, picking on you. As a parent, or whoever raised you should be proactive. Put you in some self-defense classes, whether it be MMA, whether it be boxing, kickboxing, because you find your confidence being able to defend yourself. Because if you're confident in one area, it's only going to trickle to other areas, and you're just going to make sure that you're good all the way around. But when you have the tools to pass the test that life throws at you, especially when it's a bully, you're able to put them down. Now, granted, you don't condone fighting, anything of that nature, but you can't have your child indirectly be affected by a bully because people aren't raising their children, or whoever they have custody of, they're not raising them the right way. Now they indirectly, because I don't think anybody says, hey, go to school and be a bully. I just think it's a byproduct of how you were raised in the house, and it just happens to turn you into a bully, is what I believe. But you got to make sure that whoever your children, whoever you raise, are able to combat that and handle themselves in any given situation. Be proactive. Don't wait until they come home with a black eye and a boot in their butt to talk about, man, maybe you should have had some self-defense classes. What about you? When you were younger, did you remember getting picked on? Did you remember getting bullied? Do you remember not feeling confident to weather with any storm? Anybody saying anything and somebody trying to put their hands on you? Do you remember those days and how you felt when you were in the thick of things? Okay, so apply that now to when you have children. And make them better than what you were. Teach them what you learned early. Because they have time. Time is on their side. If you use it right, if you utilizing it right. But I think bullying is the earliest form of adversity a child will face, and I think it's a good evil in a sense, because it's not going anywhere, but it lets them know at an early age that what this world is like to a certain degree. Everybody's not going to like you, and you shouldn't want everybody to like you. You can't be friends with everybody, because people going to have some ways about themselves, and it just happens that they don't like you. But it's no fault of your own. It's because they don't feel comfortable in their own skin, and it shows. They see you being confident. They see you want things out of life, and they don't like that. You move a little different. It rubs them the wrong way. It makes their skin crawl, and it makes them want to do something to you. This is life, because life is hard. Life isn't easy, but why would you want life to be easy? Because if it was easy, everybody be doing it. And everybody ain't doing life. You got people out here just existing, but everybody ain't living. Life is hard. And when you learn at an early age that, hey, anything you want in this life, you got to go and fight for it. Because ain't nobody going to give you anything. You got to be hungry. You got to be a lion out here. What lions go do? They go get what they want. They don't sit around and wait around, because if they do, they'll starve. And that's the mindset that you should be putting in these children's mind. Be hungry for what you want. Attack life, because life is going to attack you. And what you going to do when it does attack? Were you given the answers to the test to pass the test? We need to be better. Hell, I need to be better. I'm trying to be better. Due to unforeseen circumstances right now, I'm limited. But please believe, I think about this stuff all the time. Because I have a child, and I want him to be better than me. And the only reason I know how to raise him is because I had an angel as a mom. Early on in life, I didn't understand when I was a child what she was doing for me. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't understand. Now, granted, I didn't have self-defense in the house. I didn't have, my hands weren't right. I didn't know anything about fight. I didn't get that until years later. Later down the line is when I got my hands right, But ultimately, she gave me a mindset to combat anything that was thrown my way. And as I got older, just add the hands with it. Okay, bam. So now I know how to raise my child because I know what I went through as a child. I know how my upbringing was, the good and the bad. So I just add on to what I was given and just make it better for him. So he doesn't have to go through everything I went through in the household. But those great lessons that I got, the man that I am today, the ability that I have to speak and be confident, be comfortable in my own skin, because ultimately what good is the money? What good is the glitz and the glamour if your child isn't comfortable in their own skin? A lot of people aren't comfortable with themselves. Nothing great was ever achieved by being comfortable. You got to be uncomfortable. Dealing with situations, dealing with bullies, whether it be physical or emotional, is an uncomfortable feeling, but it's something you have to go through because you got to understand what this world is about. You got to be uncomfortable in order to get comfortable. I had to. Rigorous training, right? And I call it training because ultimately it was training. The things that I went through as a child in the middle school, the torment. I ain't get stuffed in lockers. I ain't get black eyes and beat up, but I got punched before a couple of times. I can say it too. Did I fight back? No, because I didn't have the hands. My hands weren't what they needed to be. I didn't have confidence. But as you get older, you tie up and you sew up those loose ends. Okay, my hands is not where I want them to be. Okay, let me go ahead and tie that up. Let me go ahead and make sure I'm good in that area. We don't have no liabilities, no loose ends. And when you coddle your child and when you don't let your child understand the ways of the world, then you set them up to be a victim, not a survivor. Microwavable culture.